I still remember the first time I went to the market, stopping at the nut stall. Not out of curiosity, but because the image of my mother's thin shoulders and my father's limping gait suddenly appeared in my mind. They used to be very strong, used to take me around the city. But now just a bowl of slightly hard rice, a cold night, makes them tired all day. I don't want to use medicine, supplements, things that make my parents look at the labels and worry. I want to take care of them with something more natural, comfortable, familiar, and can be quietly incorporated into each meal. I started to learn, read about each type of nut, record each nutrient, and try just a small spoon to put in porridge, in milk, in the dishes my mother often eats. Nothing exciting. But after only a few weeks, I saw a difference. My father complained less of tired knees. My mother slept better, her skin was brighter. She no longer complained of dull headaches. If fruit is a gentle way to nourish the skin and digestive system, nuts are the golden key to protect the brain, joints, heart, and bones of the elderly. I started looking for nuts when my father often complained of back pain, weak knees, and my mother was forgetful and tired for no apparent reason. Not wanting to use too many supplements, I chose the natural path, adding small spoons of nuts to my meals every day. And the miracle is, after only a few weeks, both my parents' physical and mental health changed. I call walnuts memory friends, not only because they look like the brain, but because they really know how to take care of the brain in a quiet, persistent way. Inside that small seed is a treasure trove of nutrients. Omega-3, polyphenol, magnesium, substances that are extremely important for fighting arthritis, supporting memory and protecting nerve cells, especially for people over 60 years old. I clearly remember there was a period of time when my mother kept complaining about headache, tired limbs, even though she slept enough and ate enough. Every time the weather changed, she would feel down, silently enduring. I didn't want my mother to get used to that feeling, so I started feeding her walnuts every day. Not much. I ground a few nuts, mixed them into my morning oatmeal. The dish was soft, fragrant, and easy to swallow. No one realized it was special, but she ate it all. And after a few weeks, my mother no longer complained about headaches like before. She slept better, smiled more, maybe not entirely because of walnuts, but I believe partly because of perseverance, regularity, and because I paid attention. Because when people get old, they don't need us to do big things. They need small, daily care. Some walnut dishes that my mother really likes. Oatmeal porridge plus ground walnuts. A soft breakfast, doesn't require much chewing, suitable for people with weak teeth or who are often tired. Walnut milk. Drink warm in the morning, helps nourish the brain, soothe joints. Crushed walnuts mixed with yogurt and fruit. A light, easy-to-eat side dish, good for digestion and skin. There was a time when I noticed that my mother's hands, the hands that had cooked, washed clothes, and taken me to school for so many years, were starting to wrinkle, dry, and crack slightly at the knuckles. Every time I touched them, I felt her skin was thinner and colder than before. It didn't hurt, but it made my heart ache. I turned to almonds. Not because I was following the healthy nut-eating trend, but because I knew that the vitamin E in almonds is what helps protect collagen, keeping skin tight, slowing down aging, and preventing it from darkening or sagging. I lightly roasted a few nuts each afternoon, crushed them lightly, mixed them with unsweetened yogurt, and brought them to my mother. She ate slowly, without asking many questions, but every bowl was clean, without leaving a spoon. I didn't need her to compliment me. I just needed to see. My mother's hands were less dry, less cracked. And to see her look at me, nod slightly when she finished eating, as if she knew. I was silently paying attention. No words, but full of warmth. Almonds are no longer a nutritious grain to me. They are the way I keep my mother's skin soft, so that when I hold her hand, I am not holding a pair of skinny hands, but holding the love that I have taken care of. Suggested dishes from almonds that my mother often uses. Soaked almonds plus mixed with yogurt. Eat in the afternoon or after dinner, light on the stomach, helps soften the skin. Grind and sprinkle on pumpkin porridge. A simple but very warm breakfast, good for people with weak appetite. Unsweetened warm almond milk. Drink early in the morning. Helps my grandmother's hands to be less cold. beautify the skin without worrying about increasing blood sugar. Chia seeds are tiny, quiet like sand and gravel. No one would expect that inside is a water retention machine for the whole body. When soaked in warm water, each chia seed expands, forming a smooth gel layer like jelly, something that seems light, but can soothe the intestines, lubricate joints, reduce constipation, and moisturize cells from deep within. I came to chia seeds when my mother complained. My stomach has been full for the past few days. I don't want to eat. I didn't rush to force my mother to eat a lot. I just lightly mixed 1 spoon of chia seeds plus warm water plus a little honey for my mother to drink on an empty stomach in the morning. No medicine, no long-winded advice. Just a small glass of water, but enough to calm my mother's stomach, make it lighter after meals, and stop making giggles every night. Gradually, I added chia seeds to smoothies, yogurt, and oatmeal. Mom didn't ask, "What is this?" She just said, "This dish makes my stomach feel comfortable, no longer full." And I understand, sometimes there's no need for fancy dishes. Just something small, regular, and given with listening is enough to make the body of the person you love feel at peace. My mother's suggested dish from chia seeds is very suitable. Mix warm water plus honey plus chia seeds. Drink when hungry. Helps gently clean the intestines, stimulates digestion, prevents constipation. Mix chia seeds into yogurt, cold oatmeal. Simple breakfast, cool and light, not heavy on the stomach. Chia seed pudding plus pureed fruit. Cool, fragrant, easy-to-eat side dish for the elderly who like soft foods, no need to chew. I didn't turn to flax seeds on a whim. It was because there was a time when my mother started to feel tired in the evenings. She slept fitfully, her skin was dull, and her joints often ached. Every time the weather changed, I saw her rubbing her knees, not complaining, but I knew she was tired. I read that flax seeds contain lignans, plant compounds that can naturally balance female hormones, which is great for postmenopausal women. In addition, the omega-3s in flax seeds also help reduce arthritis and soothe body stiffness. So I started grinding flax seeds and sprinkling them on my morning porridge, pumpkin soup, or mixing them into a light smoothie. My mother didn't know what it was, but she ate it all. Every time she finished eating, she sat a little longer, her face relaxed, and she no longer frowned like usual. A few weeks later, I noticed that my mother's skin was brighter. Her sleep was deeper. There were fewer small complaints in the evening. She still didn't ask, "What did you put in my food?" But I believe she feels the change. And the care. Flaxseed, to me, is not just a nutrient. It is a way for me to take care of my mother quietly, without worrying her, without letting her forget that she is still loved every day. Some ways to use flaxseed that are very suitable for my mother. Grind flaxseed and mix it into brown rice porridge in the morning. Warm stomach, light intestines, aid digestion, sleep well. Sprinkle on soft cakes or smoothies. No smell, no residue, increase fiber and natural omega-3. Make flaxseed powder to eat with nut milk. Simple breakfast, good for hormones, beautiful skin, easy on joints. Black sesame, small seeds nourish hair, strengthen knees and nourish mother's bones. Every time my mother climbed the stairs, her hands holding onto the railing while her legs trembled, I felt my heart tighten. And on the days when she combed her hair, she looked at her hands full of fallen hair and just smiled sadly. "Your hair must be old, my child." I didn't say anything, but in my heart, I immediately thought of black sesame. Since ancient times, people have used black sesame to nourish blood, nourish kidneys, strengthen hair, strengthen bones, and reduce joint pain. It's not a mysterious medicine, but a simple, everyday dish. I started roasting black sesame until fragrant, pounding it finely and mixing it with a little honey, and feeding it to my mother early in the morning. At first, my mother ate it because I made it. But one day, after she finished eating, she looked up and asked, "What is this dish that smells like young rice, my child?" I smiled and didn't answer. But in my heart, I was quietly happy because I had found a nutritious dish that my mother both liked and was suitable for. I continued to sprinkle black sesame on porridge, on soup, or mixed into soft rice. Every time my mother ate it all without leaving a single grain, I felt like I was gradually restoring strength to her legs, her hair, and the steadiness that age was gradually taking away. The way to use black sesame that my mother found most comfortable. Roasted, finely ground black sesame plus honey. A light, fragrant breakfast, good for the blood, soothes cold hands and feet in the morning. Sprinkle on pumpkin porridge or vegetable soup. Soft, tooth-friendly, and helps increase natural calcium. Maybe you are reading this while trying to find ways to help your parents eat better and live healthier. If so, I want to tell you one thing. You are doing the right thing. Because caring does not start with a prescription, but with a look at skinny hands with a small question. How do you feel today, Mom? What did Dad eat this morning? You don't need to be a nutritionist. You just need to be an observant child, knowing how to slow down a bit to see the small changes in Mom's skin, Dad's slower steps, or the tired eyes at the end of each day. We can't stop time, but we can slow it down by taking care of each meal, adding a spoonful of nuts, reducing a packet of noodles, a small spoonful of walnuts, a spoonful of chia seeds, a few slices of black sesame. All of these may not change your health immediately. But if repeated every day with love and patience, they will become small bricks, silently rebuilding your parents' health, memory, skin, and knees. Start with small things. A soft meal, a spoonful of crushed nuts, a glass of unsweetened milk, because sometimes restoring old age health doesn't require anything big. Just a child who is still there and still paying attention.